chance of reaching the last 16, Senegal were carrying the weight of Africa on their shoulders. And against Colombia, they had the better of the first half. Their team bringing the chances, their fans bringing the colour. In Volgograd, the stands weren't filled with the same enthusiasm, but after the break, Poland shook things up. Jan Bednarak hammering in. Already out of the competition, their fans finally had something to celebrate. Japan had been top of the group. As it stood, they were heading home. Back in Samara came the next twist in the tale. Yerry Mina heading in, Colombia back in the World Cup. Time to party. And with that, for Senegal, it slipped away. The end of the road for the Africans, out on yellow cards. The first time in 36 years that no team from the continent was in the last 16. Colombia topping the group, while in Volgograd the news broke. Even in defeat, Japan were through. Just. In Group G, things were much simpler. England and Belgium were already through, but after a dull first half, a moment of brilliance from Adnan Januzaj was the difference. Belgium through to play Japan as group winners, but with a possible showdown against Brazil in the quarter-finals on the horizon, it could come back to bite them. Austin Halewood, BBC News.
Well, it's been a busy few days sorting out who's going to play who in the last 16, but one man who's been following all the action is our football reporter, John Bennett. John, it looks absolutely stunning where you are, I have to say, by the beach there, but you've been looking through all the lists and who's going to be looking at who. We have our last 16. Any surprises, or does it quite simply just tell us how the tournament has played out so far?
Yeah, when there's no football, by the way, the only place to come is the beach. First day for a long time without football. Yeah, the last 16, we've got the usual suspects with a few exceptions. I mean, Germany not being there, of course, is a massive shock, but 4 of the last 5 world champions have been knocked out in the group stage. It's becoming a trend, isn't it? We can have a look at the last 16 ties. The other big exception, as Austin mentioned in his piece, to have no African team in the second round for the first time since 1982. Their fans will certainly be missed at this World Cup. And what I would really pick out is that no one has really excelled in the group stage. You've had the likes of Argentina with Lionel Messi squeezing through. Even Spain and Portugal had scares in their group. No one has really grabbed this tournament by the scruff of the neck. Even Brazil and France, who qualified for the second round comfortably, we haven't seen the best of them yet. And that's why I think it's such a very exciting and open World Cup as we head into the knockout rounds now.
Well, John, we have our last 16. I mean, with something we do need to talk about, though, of course, the fact that there are no African teams left. I mean, it's unprecedented, really. And, of course, the way Senegal went out as well, particularly tough. But what does it tell us about the growth of the game?
Yeah, there is some, I think, self-analysis to do for the African teams at this World Cup. And African football in general, of course, it's such a big continent. We can't group them all together, really. Very different problems for the North African teams and the West African teams. But there will be a lot of self-analysis to be had, a lot of questions to be asked as well. They can point to some bad luck. You think about Senegal, so unlucky to go out on yellow cards. They only went out because Japan got less yellow cards than them, and they conceded that goal. Yerry Mina scoring the goal yesterday as they lost to Colombia. Nigeria as well. They were very close to knocking out Argentina. We can see the pictures here of the fans celebrating and the fans in Senegal commiserating as well. Very difficult to take for the African teams. I've been talking to a lot of journalists here, including a Senegalese journalist, Seydana Diego, about what now for the African teams.
They have the tactical maturity, but they don't have this feeling, you know, this tendency to take risk, for instance, you know, like you used to have the Brazilian team. Now we all have this tactical fear regarding playing, you know, games, you know. But I guess that, you know, we have to implement strategies to help our football have an identity. It's very important.
So I suppose, John, what happens next then is they're plotting their way through the quarterfinals, semi-finals, looking at who they're going to face next. Very early days still. I don't want to put you on the spot, but just looking at how the teams have played out so far, who do you think could go all the way?
Well, the team I think that is still a favourite is Brazil. I've been lucky enough to see them at this tournament against Costa Rica. Yes, we haven't seen the best of them, but I think Philippe Coutinho is in fabulous form. And when he plays well, they tend to tick. It all tends to go well for them. And Neymar is growing into the tournament. He had an injury with Paris Saint-Germain, which has held him back. But with every game, he keeps getting better and better and better. He had 20 more touches than any other player in their last game. A possible dark horse, though, the team that has impressed me the most, Croatia. I think they've been absolutely fabulous with Luka Modric and even Rakitic in midfield. Brilliant in the group stages, and I expect them to go a very long way. Watch out for Croatia in the knockout stages.
John Bennett, no football today, so go and enjoy an ice cream. Thanks, John, in Samara, of course. Well, if the excitement of the World Cup isn't enough for you, the third Grand Slam of the tennis season gets underway at Wimbledon on Monday. And the draw for the first round has been made in just the last couple of hours. So let's have a look at some of those eye-catching ties from the men's singles event. Andy Murray there, who is yet to confirm that he will compete at the championships, faces Benoit Paire. The defending champion Roger Federer will play Dusan Lajovic. Second seed Rafa Nadal faces Dudi Sela. And over in the women's draw, defending champion Garbiñe Muguruza will face Britain's Naomi Brodie. Serena Williams, seven-time champion who's been seeded 25th, will play Aranska Rus of the Netherlands. And world number one Simona Halep is the top seed. She'll face Japan's Karumi Nara. Hard to believe that's starting on Monday. All the details for you on the website bbc.com/sport. But for me, goodbye for now.